NAMM 2023 with Markus at the Mellotron stand. How are you, Markus?
I'm good, good. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. Good, thank you.
Yeah.
What have you brought to the show? What have Mellotron brought?
We brought our usual Mellotron stuff, of course, with the M4000D series of instruments. So this is the Mini in the M4000D series, which means it's got a expansion slot and more or less all the bells and whistles as the big one, but just not the poly aftertouch keypad. But it has a mono aftertouch. So you can, with pressure, adjust the volume of the whole chord or whatever you're playing, so to say. So it also has the usual features of the Mellotron. And for this show, we actually have a new card out called Card 06, which has looped versions of the Chamberlin sounds that are built into the instrument. So for example, the flute here, this is a Chamberlin flute that now is looped. Then it has some previously, so it has, for example, the 3 violins on the Chamberlin library. Also with an infinite loop. Then it has some unreleased sounds, a new violin. It has a viola that's never been published before. It has several cellos. Cello sounds that were in the original library, but we hadn't gotten to them yet. But now we have sort of dug them out. Cello in a higher register, and then and this is kind of unique because the Chamberlin library only had one cello sound before, and now there's many more to them, so to say.
Excellent.
Then we also have a female solo voice that's sung by the same female that sung the original Chamberlin solo voice, but this has a slightly different intonation. So it's kind of and because choirs or vocal sounds are so rare on both Chamberlins and Mellotrons, so this is kind of an interesting new addition to the library. What's the other interesting stuff is the Rhythmate, which now is also on this card. So the Rhythmate was a rhythm box, actually one of the first drum machines, and it had infinite loops of different drums that were pre-recorded, and it came out already in the early 50s and had 3-track tapes with 14 loops in them. So there were quite a few sounds on each of these units, and then there were several masters also, but we also have all of those sounds on this card.
Amazing.
So for example, and then
and are they
so many different loops.
Are they fixed tempos?
You know, you can go up and down with a pitch knob.
And
so
does that affect the whole keyboard?
Yes,
the pitch of the whole keyboard?
Yeah, exactly. So, and then in the 60s, he came out with a 16-track version of this. There was a 1-inch 16-track tape that had obviously 16 loops on it. So we also have that library in here. So for example, so a lot of different rhythms.
And how about inputs and outputs? What sort of I/O do we have?
Oh, the outputs are, it's a mix output that you can regulate with the mix here. So now we have on We have a kind of a funny mix right now, but here we can mix the female voice with the clarinet. Yeah. For example. And on direct, the direct outputs are just not passing through the analog filtering and volume of the front panel, and it's got A and B of the 2 tracks individually out. And then it's full MIDI in and out, and here you can see the slot where I have the expansion card plugged in, and then of course the sustain and expression. You can use the expression inputs to run the mix if you don't have hands and you want to make a mix between A and B with your foot. You can do that, or you can regulate the pitch with also an expression pedal.
Amazing. And this is available now, right? When was this released?
This was released about 10 years ago, actually. Yeah.
Cool, cool.
So,
and
so
how much? What's the retail price?
The retail is about $2,000, and with VAT in Europe, it's around about 2,200 euros approximately. And but you can check all of that out at digitalmellotron.com. We have all the prices and all the info on there, so to say.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for showing us, Markus.
Thank you.